Hey guys, this is Cody from Prodigy Nation, and today I'm going to be talking to you about will Legion save the World of Warcraft series. Now, there are many different aspects that could change people's opinions and lead people to stop playing the game due to the fact that there's been too many promises and they haven't been followed by Blizzard Entertainment. And with a lot of promises actually going out the window in the past few expansions, like uh, Warlords of Draenor or Mr. Pandaria, a lot of people have actually stopped playing the game due to the fact that it lacks of content, it lacks of wanting to keep people in the game. They just add some dailies that people don't really want to be doing every day because it's so repetitive. It's the same 7 dailies every week, and people get bored of it. They don't want to be doing the same things over and over again. They want new stuff, and including with Warlords of Draenor, they haven't brought enough content with the raiding, and they haven't brought out new PvP battlegrounds or anything to do with those. But in Warlords of Draenor, there was a lot of build up to it, so Blizzard had to do something that they essentially lied about for months building up to the expansion, and they believed that it was going to be the expansion to bring back Warcraft, but they went wrong with it, and the way they went wrong with it is the fact that they built it up so much. They made it very hard for themselves to come back from, and if they didn't do that, I think the expansion would have been a lot more better. And basically, what I think they did is they brought the content out to so fast and so short, and the rating was so terrible this expansion, and I believe they did that because they just wanted to scrap Warlords of Draenor in general, because I guess it didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out, and that's fair enough. Like, it is fair enough that they're going to scrap it because they went wrong in so many aspects. There's just so many things that was bad in this expansion, and this was the start of it. Highmore. It was a seven raid boss, or a seven boss raid, and it hardly brought any. There was no difficultiness in any of the aspects at all. I remember at the start of the expansion on my Druid, I actually got Mythic Kargath Blade Fist. Like, it was a pretty simple boss, but that Mythic was meant to be for the people at top tier raiding with the best gear and all this stuff, and Blizzard made it easy for me to just go in, kill the boss, and get gear within 2 weeks, and it just brought that aspect of raiding out the window. Raiding just got boring. I quit raiding for a bit due to the fact that there was just nothing to do, because it was the same crap. Like, yeah, I'd get to Mythic would be even more boring than usual, and there wouldn't be much more to do other than that. And then you would have your stupid dailies in your garrison that you would have to do over and over again. But yeah, this expansion was a disaster. Mr. Pandaria had potential. I think with a little bit more content, people would have enjoyed it a lot more. I enjoyed it personally. I love the Seeds of Orgrimmar raid, but I think it was just out for a little bit too long. I think they probably should have just added an extra raid, or something to do while we were bored. But I guess that was a no-no. They just wanted to focus on the next expansion like they're doing right now. Legion has an amazing trailer, and it's gonna drag in a lot of new players, and drag in a lot of old players, because the possibility of seeing all these big characters when they played, starting to get killed off. But I think that is going to play a massive role in who comes back and who just leaves it at Warlords of Draenor. I've pre-ordered the expansion in a digital deluxe edition, so I've kept my hope. A lot of my friends said they might just wait until the expansion comes out before they waste their money, because it's a lot of promises haven't been met in the previous few expansions, and it's it's not our fault. I think a game, that's what a game's meant to do. It happens in games like Call of Duty, where they lose a lot of their old players, but they gain a lot of new players due to how popular it is. World of Warcraft hasn't offered a lot of I don't know. It hasn't been trying to recruit for the younger players. Like, they've made it so simple now that you can buy your level 100 if you're that lazy. I think that's one of the worst things they've ever done. You can buy a level 100 because it takes out the part on how to learn to play the character through leveling and learn all its skills, instead of getting to level 100 straight away and just going into a raid with a bunch of people that know what they're doing, and you don't know anything. You're just clicking buttons because you don't know what anything does. I think that is an aspect they need to fix. It looks like they're just trying to get money at the moment, which isn't making it look good for them. But they really do need to fix that aspect overall. Another thing they could possibly do in the next expansion, in the middle of it, because it hasn't been announced that they're going to do it, is maybe bringing new battlegrounds, because a lot of people don't do raids and don't like the PvE environment. They just love to do the battlegrounds or arenas. I think they're bringing some arenas out. I can't remember, but a new battleground would make the PvP community happy. Like, they made some massive mistakes with Winter Grasp in Lich King, because not many people do Winter Grasp anymore. They should make it more relevant, like Tolbarad and all that. They should make that a lot more relevant to now. Like, you have to go back and then you get, like, a certain amount of conquest points. Like, people would be doing that constantly. If you get conquest points per day, you get like 100 a day for winning or something. You make it a lot more relevant to today's WoW. But massive disaster is Ashran at the start of the expansion. Not many people wanted to do it because it was so unbalanced. I remember my realm got absolutely killed by the Alliance, because there was so many of the Alliance, and the Horde were all PvE. Not many people wanted to do that. But yeah, I would like a nice little storyline in Legion as well, with the introduction of my favorite character Illidan back. I think it should be a fun experience for the newer type of WoW players who never actually got to learn about Illidan Stormrage in the Warcarft series. I think with the introduction of him and the Demon Hunter class, a lot of people are going to want to start playing again, because it drags this new look of WoW, as you can be some jumping Demon Hunter, or this jumping, I don't know, hunter that is like a rogue, a hunter rogue and a mage, I guess. It brings this nice aspect to the game. But there are many more things they could possibly do before they go into the next expansion. I think they've sort of they left us for dead until the expansion releases. It seems like there's going to be another eight months of Warlords of Draenor, and there's not many things to do. And that's how they lose the player base, I guess, because there's nothing to do now. They're expecting everyone to come back in a few months and it should be fine. And, you know, everyone's just going to come back and they're going to enjoy Legion. I think that's what they think is going to happen, but in reality, people are going to quit because there's nothing to do now. They're getting bored of the game, and they're going to debate with themselves for the next few months. Is it worth picking up, you know, some picking up a different game like Star Wars or the Old Republic or something to sort of change their mind about what they want to play? But me, I'll be sticking to World of Warcraft until I think that it's gonna die. I'll want to stay until the end. I would like to stay, but I'm starting to get a feeling that it's never it's never gonna end, and they think that it's gonna go as far as another 10 years. I think it might be time to maybe start quieting it down and stop making it into a game that it's not, because yeah, it's not working. They got to go back to the old World of Warcraft, and maybe it might last another 10 years, but with the way the game is going now, it's not going to last any longer than maybe 5 years. It'll start dying down if next expansion isn't any good. But other than that, hopefully Legion isn't a total disaster, and hopefully the player base likes the way that the game is going, instead of just constantly doubting Blizzard's gaming or the way they make games, because that's half the reason why everyone thinks Warlords of Draenor is bad, due to the fact that there isn't a lot of content that we enjoyed, but they got to see the potential that the content could have had if, you know, the game wasn't rushed, because we just totally didn't want Mr. Pandara. If we gave them time, and I reckon we didn't constantly say oh, this expansion's bad, then they just opened up their eyes a little and said, okay, this game actually has a little bit of potential, I think we would have had a better expansion for Warlords of Draenor. This seems very rushed, and that isn't Blizzard's fault, and that isn't our fault. It's just we had to give it both parties had to give it time, and we just wanted it rushed. We just wanted an expansion, because there's no arguing with the World of Warcraft community, because if Blizzard argue with them, then they're not going to have a player base, and that's GG for them. Anyways, guys, if you want me to discuss anything in my next talking video, just leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll try to discuss it in my next one. I do it every Sunday. So if you did like this conversation, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday.